Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Åshild, and for the longest time I've been wanting to do a review and comparison video between some of the most affordable and cruelty-free brow pencils on the market. And so I have 6 products I want to talk about today. So I mainly wanted to see how the pencils performs, applies, how they compare color-wise, and how long it takes for them to be used up. So my experience with these retractable brow pencils are the more I like how they look, how they apply, the easier I use them up, or quicker. And I think that's because typically the more waxier and thicker pencils, which is not what I love and prefer, is the sort of pencils that lasts longer, both on the actual brows and in its form. Whilst the microfine pencils are a lot thinner, so they look nicer and more natural on the brows, and they're easier to apply, but it's less product, so you use them up a lot quicker. So I find it kind of interesting to see, is it really worth purchasing a microfine pencil and keep repurchasing that just because of the results and how easy it applies, or will I in the long run prefer to use a more waxier, thicker pencil? So that's kind of what I've been experimenting with. So we're just going to go through each pencil and talk a little bit about each one. I'll give you some swatches and then try to compare them as I go along. I also had a goal of trying to use them about the same amount of time. That didn't go as planned because I lost track. I did do well in the beginning, but then I wasn't able to do the comparison video when I wanted to, and so I ended up using this more thicker, waxier pencil. I've been using it for maybe 2 months or so now. So I'm going to put my glasses on and see if I can see any better. Not really, but these are my new glasses, so I hope they will start working soon. Alright, so I want to talk about these 3 microfine pencils first because they're very, very similar. The first one is the Essence Micro Precise Eyebrow Pencil in number 4 Dark Blonde. Now, all the way, I try to find cool toned brown taupey shades because that's what I prefer. All of these 3 contains 0.05 grams of product, which is, it's not the least amount actually, but it's not very much product. This is the only one that doesn't have a spoolie, and I have swatched this pencil once. I'm going to swatch it again now, and I've used it 4 times, and we're going to see how much is left, and I'm going to compare it afterwards. As you can see, it's very slim. I have no idea if I'm in focus, but hopefully you can see how long it is and how skinny it is. I also believe I took some pictures of all of them and how long they were before I started swatching them. So if I did, which I believe I did, I'm going to insert it somewhere. Now this is the shortest, this was the shortest starting length of a pencil, but it's also the cheapest one. It is $3, and it's also really, really good. I really enjoy this pencil, but like there's not a whole lot left considering the fact that I've only used it 4 times or 5 times with swatching, and I'm going to swatch it again soon so you'll see the shade, but I'm just going to have it up so I can compare the lengths first. Then we have the e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil in taupe. I believe all of these had cardboard packaging, and on this cardboard packaging for this pencil it had the name, so I wrote it down, but on the actual pencil it doesn't say which name it is, and that bugs me. I hate when they do that. Or they have it in such little writing it's impossible to read. So that's one thing that kind of bugs me about this one, but it's also a little bit too dry. It also has the thinnest pencil out of all of them. And I do really enjoy it, but again, it's a little bit on the dry side. So it could be just me getting one that's a little bit too dry, or they're all like that. I don't know. It also has spoolie on the other end, which is great. I have also used this 4 times, or 5 with the initial swatching. And it's also the most expensive because this was $8. The last one was also $8, but I did get it for $6. It was an offer. So I paid the most amount of money for this one with the same amount of product. Then we have the last one, which is the Revolution, Makeup Revolution Precise Brow Pencil in light brown. Now this was originally $8, but I got it for $6. Did I say that the last one was the longest length? It was not. It's the thinnest, if I didn't say, because this is the longest length. And I really did enjoy this one. This was really nice. So this is very thin. Okay, I can't, how is that even logical that this is the longest, but it's not the thinnest, and they contain the exact same amount? It can't, it's not the thinnest. Why did I write down? Oh, it's the longest, right? So I used these two I used 4 times, and this one, the last one from Revolution, I used it 10 times. Yes, I've used it 10 times. So let's compare the lengths. As you can see, the Revolution one is still the longest, even though I've used it longer, or most amount of times. So 10 times on that one and 4 times each on the 2 other ones. And they all 3 of them contains the same amount of product, which was 0.05 grams. So I find that to be interesting, and therefore, because it lasts the longest, the price was just between the other ones, even though it's originally $8. If I can find this on sale, I think it's the best bang for your buck when it comes to the microfine pencils. So out of these ones, the Revolution one wins. Let me go ahead and swatch them. So far on top, we have the one from Essence. Then we have the one from e.l.f. And then in the middle, and then on the bottom there, we have the one from Revolution. The one in the middle, the one from e.l.f., is so dry. It is almost impossible to write with or to swatch. I had to really go in there. Can you see my new glasses are turning into sunglasses? I'm trying to decide if I like it or not. Alright, so we have 2 other ones from Essence as well, but they're in a sort of in a different category. They're more on the waxier side, a little bit thicker, still retractable, and these generally just last longer, the product itself, and it lasts longer on the brows as well. So this first one is called the Essence Wow What a Brow 01 in light brown. This contains 0.2 grams, and this has more of a oh, it keeps coming off, so that's not good, but this is how much is left. I've used this for like 2 months or so now, and there's still quite a bit left. It has more of a triangular shaped pencil. I can write both thick and thin here. I don't know if you can see this on the bottom there. I've tried to swatch both with thicker strokes and thinner strokes. if I didn't say it's waterproof, it does last well on the brows, and I don't have to repurchase as often when they're more waxier, but I don't love how it applies. I feel like it doesn't look as natural. Yeah, it's harder to make strokes and make it look like actual hairs compared to the microfine ones. So I wish there was a microfine pencil that was a little bit waxier and that the product itself would last a little bit longer. Because I hate repurchasing things like after 2-3 weeks. It's ridiculous, I think. This also comes with a spoolie on the other side, and I got this for $4. So it is pretty affordable. Again, all of these are cruelty-free. So yeah, I like it. It's just, it doesn't give me the same good feeling when I apply it. Then we have this Essence Super Last 24 Hours Eyebrow Pomade in the color 20 Brown. This broke, by the way. It has a sharpener, which is this is the only one that has a sharpener, but it also has, instead of a regular spoolie, it has this weird looking spoolie that I can't really use for anything. At least I can't make it really work. And then this is not triangular shaped. It's just a very regular, thicker pencil. I have this much left. I've used this for a long time now. I don't really remember. Maybe 6 months or so. And I've kind of saved this little nib so that I could compare it with the other ones. There you have the swatch at the bottom there. They're pretty similar in color. I feel like maybe this one is a little bit warmer. The e.l.f. What's it called? e.l.f. Ultra Precise Brow Pencil. Maybe the top one is a little bit warmer too. It's hard for me to tell. But they're all fairly similar in shade. The last one here is 0.31 grams of product for $3. So very affordable. Again, it lasts for a long time. It is waterproof, and all in all, it's a good brow pencil. So again, it's just with the experience of applying it is what I don't really like, but once it's on, it lasts and it looks okay. And then I just want to mention this last one, which is a lot more, it's just so different from all of the other ones. It's the e.l.f. Holy Strokes Microfine Brow Pen. Light buildable pigment, waterproof and smudge resistant with a microfine brush tip. And this is in the shade Taupe. So this is $9. I have used this 5 times. It contains 0.02 grams of product, which is barely nothing. And I don't know if you can see. Let me just try to swatch it. There is very little product left, and you can barely see it. So I think this is a complete waste of money. I have tried brow pens that I've enjoyed, like the one from Milani, but that I have repurchased that a few times, and the same thing happens every time. I use it for a little while, I enjoy it, but then it starts to like drip from the tip and sort of like bleed onto the brows. It becomes very messy. And if they actually worked, and I mean the actual pencil is beautiful, it's very fine, the strokes are beautiful, but you can barely see it. So if you could actually see these ones, I think this would be a great product, maybe a great additional product to the microfine pencils. but I don't feel like this is worth $9. And it was more pigmented the first 2-3 times I used it, but now it's like nothing. And so I'm almost assuming that I've used this up after 5 times or 6 times now that I've swatched it, since it contains 0.02 grams of product. So yeah, it's not worth $9. I want to say the first one that I talked about, the one from Essence, the Micro Precise eyebrow pencil, it is what gives the best result, I feel like. The color isn't perfect. I wish that it was a little bit more cool toned, but I really enjoy the way, how easy it is to make those strokes. But again, it lasts for like 2 weeks. I'm gonna see how long it takes me to use this up. I've only used it 4 times, so I wonder if it's gonna take me like 5-6 times to use it up, or more times. So I feel like out of all of these, the Revolution microfine pencil, or it's called Precise Brow Pencil, is really the winner here. It's the one that lasts the longest out of the microfine pencils. It's the one I enjoy applying, and I love the results, and it is affordable and cruelty-free. What more can you ask for? Well, the only thing I can ask for is I wish it lasted even longer. But I do think I see myself repurchasing this over and over again because I really liked it. So, and I mean, if you really want a brow pencil that lasts for a long time, obviously the regular pencils that you sharpen, they're gonna last forever. Like, I had one from Isadora. I think it lasted me for 5 years, and I used it every single day, and it was really good. And if you really sharpen them, they do get pretty pointy. So I don't know, maybe that's the next thing I'm gonna try out in the future, because I really want a cruelty-free, affordable brow pencil that performs really well, applies really easily, gives the best results, has the best cool taupey color, and yeah, I don't know exactly where to get that. These are all good candidates. I don't dislike any of them except from this one, the e.l.f. Holy Strokes Microfine Brow Pen. But the other ones I do really like. It's just a matter of how quickly I use them up, really. So the winner here is the Revolution one. I see myself repurchasing that over and over again. I might try some other like more waxier, thicker brow pencils and see if I can find something I like better in that category. And I might also try a regular brow pencil that I can sharpen. So let me know if you have any recommendation in that category. But I think that's it for today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in my next video. Bye!